Well, I did it again. Bought another watch. Although this was actually priced so good I couldn't resist. But I know we all say that, don't we? This is a Omega reference 3511.50. It is a Japanese domestic market only Omega offering. It was not offered in any other country as far as I can tell from my research. And I'll just give a brief, a little synopsis of this watch and my journey into this versus the Tudor Tiger. So about a year ago, I was looking to buy a Tudor Tiger 79280. That watch is from the 90s. You can sometimes find that watch without the Tiger designation on it, which I would prefer, but they ended up linking with the, like Rolex, they linked with Tudor, link with Tiger Woods, I think, to market that watch or to use for marketing. So it's got Tiger written on it, and I would prefer the ones without that, but that's a separate whole issue. But so anyways, this watch came into the search criteria also, and I was actually drawn more to it because of its Panda dial configuration. And they both have the same movement. They both start with a base Value 7750. And the disadvantages of probably this one over the advantages, this can be found 1/3, even less than 1/3 the price of the Tudor Tiger. The disadvantages is that this has push down activators here and a non-screw down crown that is not, there's the only water resistance is just the O-ring gaskets and how good they seal. So chronographs being what they are, I'm not really looking. Water capabilities is not something in my criteria with any chronograph. I don't even care if it was the Daytona, and the Daytona is like the Tudor Tiger, which has the screw down, the pushers and the crown, as this one doesn't have. So water, when it comes to water resistance, that's your Submariner line. That's your, even the GMT's got like 100 meters. The later GMTs had 100 meters, like the 90s, the 16710. Those had at least 100 meters of depth. I know with the Rolex Daytona and the Tiger with the screw down, you probably got 100 meters also with that. But I don't see a lot of owners taking their Daytonas diving, or even maybe they do swimming. I'm not sure, but I think Omega rates this one for at least showering and light light swimming. But this watch dates from 1993, and Lord only knows what how bad the gaskets are. And now I'm going to get into the few videos I posted on this, because I just bought this about 5 days ago. I've had it, and I had a couple issues with it out of the box. And I bought it from a seller, E-Lady Mall in Tokyo, Japan. And they offered me a compensation of $75 towards repairs or to send it back. I got the watch for $1,362 out the door with free shipping, because they were running a 25% promo because it was listed for a little over $1,800. So I thought at that price, that's probably amongst the lowest priced, and I already know what's going on with it out of the box. So I decided to keep it. They offered that. They said they would give me a compensation. They just compensated me today, so that's why I'm doing the video. So we're all pretty much settled. So it had a scratch that they didn't disclose, but they were quick to point out that was visible in the pictures. But in the sunlight, direct sunlight, it's more pronounced. But in their studio, when they take pictures of these, you could barely see it. So I'm not going to split hairs with that. It would have been nice if they disclosed it. It looks like maybe some watchmaker was pulling off the hands and did a little bump, and that's probably where the scratch is, but I can live with that. The other problem was with the pusher, the reset pusher, that was sticking. I have since fixed that, and I'll show you. I'm going to stop the chrono, reset, and then you can see it returns, and then I could start it again. So it was just dirt and dead skin cells. I took it apart. You have to unscrew it from the inside after you remove the movement. it was a pretty easy, quick repair. I don't have any Omega spare parts. I have a couple like gaskets for Rolexes and stuff like that and other watches, but I don't have the little O-rings. But they look like they were in good shape. But you can't really tell. I'm not taking it in the water, that's for sure. I'm pretty happy overall with the purchase. It's a really cool model, and the price is Closer 24 also on eBay sells tons of these, and he usually sells them around 15 to 1600. And I would say right now, if you're on the fence for wanting to add a chronograph to your like a neo vintage chronograph to your collection, as I was, this would be a viable option because around 1500. I even got a little bit better deal than that because of the special they were running. Plus, throw in the $75 discount, I'm under 1300, and I didn't have to send it to a watchmaker to have it fixed. Where some people would probably have to do that, and I understand that. But you have to, if you're going to keep the watch, you have to factor that in if you get something out of the box. And I understand that because they do a lot of high volume sales, and I don't know if they're like they sell purses, women's purses, and other things. I'm not sure to what degree they're actually inspecting these. They did mention they have an in-house watchmaker, but they're probably doing such high volume that with these used older pieces that you're going to have some that slip, or they just may be allowed to pass because they know some people can put up with it. But if you have a problem with it, I highly recommend dealing with it in the first allotted time they give you, 14 days. And if you can rectify a problem and get a little reimbursement, do it, because you can use that towards repairs. The dial, if I wanted that dial replaced, which I won't because I like the tritium lume is already caramelizing. You can see the indices changing to that brown color, which is awesome. But if I wanted to change that, there's another YouTuber that bought this watch and decided to send it into Amiga for a full service. And because it was a Japanese domestic model, I guess they had to wait. Omega US had to wait for parts to be shipped to, and maybe I'm wrong with the way it worked out, but it took like up to 5 or 6 months for them to get the watch back. But it looked like a brand new watch. And it's probably got an updated, super luminova dial. So he's probably got nighttime lume, all night, bright lume through the night. But being kind of a purist and kind of wanting it all original, I'm not going to do that. So for around $12.80, $12.90, this was a bargain. They offered the $75 comp for the pusher because I did a video and I linked the video for them to see, and they were cool with that. So I was like, yeah, I'll keep it and I'll just fix it. And so the pusher's working. Like I said, the dial. The other problem is my large wrist of 8-inch. I can barely slip this over my hand. And this has a reference 1469. Let me see if I can get it in a thing here. Reference 1469 bracelet. Now I'm not sure if this is the same bracelet that's on the reduced model that's sold globally. Or not. The hand links are 813s, and I've seen 1469 811, so maybe the reduced has 811 end links. That I can't really verify, but I'm on the hunt now for some extra links. Apparently this bracelet is not that common, or I'm having problems finding parts. I think there's I called a couple of Omega boutiques around me here in Illinois, and the one in Chicago told me I had to basically bring it in. So I'll have to bring it in, see if they can order them or if they have them in stock. But if this is on the reduced model, this 1469 is the same one, then they'll probably have links that I can buy right there. So I think I'm going to need about 3 with my huge wrist, but this is probably in somebody's with much smaller wrist. Somebody in physically fit shape. It's another reason why I love the Japanese culture. Not everybody. Everybody's, got bad habits globally. So anyways, so that's it. That I just wanted to cover that my new purchase. And if you're in the mood for, there we go. If you're in the mood for a chronograph and you're looking for something around $1,500, $14 to $1,500, I would say, unless you can find something like, they have a sale going, I'd say definitely look at those ones, Closer 24 or E-Lady Mall, and you can get a little bit cheaper. I didn't get hit with any customs tax or fees, which surprised me because I thought I was going to have to at least spend a little bit towards get a bill from FedEx for that. What I think happens is when they break it up, they break the watch up into three parts. They break it up into the movement value, the case value, and I think the bracelet. And they had the movement, I think, at over like $850 or $900, and I think they did the case at like some small figure, like under 100, and I think they did the bracelet the rest. And then maybe that's the reason why I didn't get a bill, because I think at the movement's the primary, and you can correct me on this because I'm not too up on what the customs tax is, but if the movement's the predominant cost, which it is in most of these cases, then you're going to probably not get hit with the tax. But it seems like it's a mixed bag, because before I ordered this, I got on Watch You Seek and a couple other forums, and it was a mixed bag. Some people got around $800 is the maximum. Some people got hit with a bill from the shipper, DHL or FedEx. Some didn't, so it's hit or miss. But I knew it was going to be that large either way, because I wasn't buying like a $9,000 Submariner or anything like that. So it was pleasantly surprised not to get hit with an extra $50 charge or something like that. So, and that's it. So I'm really happy with the purchase. I'll just have to hunt down some links, and finally added a chronograph to my collection. And what's cool about it is I've always been a fan of the Japanese culture. Most of my cars have been Japanese made. I used to buy in the late 80s, I was buying the Hondas, and it was never an issue because they came straight off the boat from Japan, the way they were shipped. But today, most of your Hondas and Toyotas are made in the United States. And, for me, that kind of lost a little bit of the appeal, because maybe just my attachment, or just kind of love for the Japanese culture and the people, and just they take care of their stuff. You can tell this watch from 1993 by the serial number. I don't know if E-Lady did any polishing on it or touch up, but it looks like it's pretty well taken care of. Normal faded dial, which you're going to get from wearing a watch almost 29 years out into the sunlight. Any watch is going to fade, and the looms, got that beautiful. Some people don't like it. I love it. The vintage caramelizing of the tritium loom there. Don't know why the hands on this model, but I see just about everyone I see is either the hands are decayed a little bit, but they don't seem to brown. So I'm not sure if they have the hands outsourced at Omega, or it could be that these are newer hands. I'm not sure. Like I said, I think that scratch, obviously, it came from maybe a watchmaker in Japan that made a bump, and I don't know if maybe, I'm not sure who did it, but, it is what it is. So I can live with it, and it's for around now, after the discount that they gave me for the few issues, the one I resolved myself, about $12.80, $12.75, $12.80. I got it out the door. I think that's a bargain for this model. And the thing is, one more thing is, what I do see a lot, or what I did notice a lot, is that you can get these for around $1,500, $1,600, maybe up to $1,800 with box and papers. $1,700, $1,800 with the original box and papers, but that's not a big deal, because I think the box is really small that came with this model, minimalistic, like a gray box, maybe in the earlier production, and it's typical Omega box where it's kind of crumbling, falling apart. So I didn't really hold much credence into that, like I did with my Speedmaster purchase, my vintagey Speedmaster that I got from Japan. This being my only second purchase outside the United States. So, but if you are a fanatic, you want the box and the manual, you can spend around $1,800. But the thing I noticed with this watch is that people who've already imported them in the United States and to sell them, or maybe there's a little market going on here, is they're buying them for maybe $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, and then you'll see these on eBay sold from sellers in the United States for $2,400, $2,500. 2300 and up. So obviously, I think overall the move on this particular model, which again is the reference 3511.50, it is the JDM model, Japanese domestic model. I think both here in Japan, sellers are this one's on a slow increase, just like a lot of models. Maybe it's because they're finally been found. Maybe I'm not the only one that's been cross shopping this with the 90s Tudor Tiger and see the value in this one, having both the same base 7750 value movements. Maybe that's what a lot of people are doing, and they're deciding to move with the Omega because of the price and just to me the look is better. I love the look of this over the Tiger just a little bit better. So, and it says a lot because I'm mostly a Rolex fanboy, so go figure that. But I like my Seamaster, and I like my I like Omegas. I like all watches. Everyone's got their own little charm depending on the model you find. So, thanks for watching the video, and if you liked the video, please subscribe, and if you have any questions, post them in the comments and I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. Thanks and take care.